a US ESTA if you are only connecting through to a different country and not actually leaving the airport to go into America? And the answer is yes, you do. Unfortunately, unlike some other airports where you can connect airside, in the USA, all arrivals go through immigration, so therefore you need an ESTA. And depending on your airline, sometimes you even have to recollect your bag and then either take it up to another carousel to then send it off onto the next flight, or you will have to go through security and check in, same way you would as if you're going on your very first flight. This can be a pain, so you do have to kind of leave a big connection time because of if there's any queues at immigration. Even if you're connecting to a domestic place in the USA, so say for example, if you're flying into New York, but then your next leg is on to LA, you will have to still go through immigration in New York. And then sometimes you'll even have to run across the whole airport to the domestic terminal to then get on your next flight. The only exception is if you do something like pre-clearance in Dublin, but then you'll be arriving as a domestic passenger and then you would still have to connect somewhere else. So you do still need an ESTA. I did actually miss a connection once. I wasn't planning on leaving the airport, but I was flying from Costa Rica back to London and I had a connection in Miami. My Costa Rica flight was delayed by about 2 hours, which then meant that it was a knock-on effect. So when I landed in Miami, there was a chance that I wasn't going to get on my plane. Although I did see that the London flight was delayed by about 2 hours as well. So then when I ran through the airport, I got my bag back and they wouldn't even let me put it through the transfer counter because they were like, sorry, you've missed your flight. And I was like, I haven't. I know that the flight's delayed by 2 hours. I know it's still parked at the gate. And they said, no, you've missed it. You've missed it. And I was like, no, I really haven't. It's like, I know it hasn't left yet. It's like 2 hours delayed. And they told me that they had already sold on my seat because they didn't think that I was going to get there. And they were doing it to the timing of my flight that was booked. The only problem was, so there wasn't any other flights that day and I had to wait a whole day to get back. Although because the delay was their fault, they did put me up in a hotel and then they gave me meal vouchers. But I did then have to unexpectedly leave the airport and have a day in Miami before flying back to London. So they do like you to have an ESTA in place, regardless of whether you're just connecting, but you will have to go through immigration, so you will need one.